Okay.
Started. Oh, hear the wheezing? This is
I
terrible.
do. Oh my goodness.
This is so bad. I sound like my Aunt Tess when she used to smoke 6 packs of Luckies.
Welcome to Loose Lips, everyone.
Yes, I'm Ike and Avelli.
And I'm Tym Moss. Hi.
Oh my God, how are you, Tym? I know you're so busy.
I'm wonderful. Yeah, and actually quite busy right now.
Yes, you are.
And today's show will tell all about it, huh?
It sure
Why
will.
I'm so busy.
Yes, and today's show is sponsored by Uberlube.
We love Uberlube.
Yes, you could visit their site, uberlube.com, for all their amazing products. They have travel size, they have glass bottles, nightstand friendly, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Yeah, Uberlube is really, they've been our sponsor for a long time, and they sponsor our shows on the road, which is 50 Shades of Gay.
Yes, which we will be.
I was just going to say, we've got a lot of shows coming up.
Yeah, we hit the road. Well, we started in Jersey City, March 5th, and then we got, I guess I could say it, we got Atlanta.
Atlanta.
I don't even remember the dates, but we're also doing San Diego.
San Diego, yeah.
Possibly Tampa.
Tampa, yeah.
God, I'm drawing a blank.
That's enough for now. Yeah, but we're gonna be jumping all over the country here in a few weeks. So
sure are.
And Uberlube is jumping right along with us.
I'm telling you, and we love it because they give giveaways out to the audience members performing everywhere, not just one specific city like New York.
Absolutely.
So they're wonderful. So Tym, if anyone out there has questions, dilemmas, cries for help, guess who they can come to?
Who is that, Ike?
Dr. Ike and Dr. Tym.
Oh, I'm a doctor now.
No. They could send anything they want to ikeandAvelli@hotmail.com, or they can DM us at facebook.com Loose Lips the podcast.
Yes. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Loose Lips the podcast, because we look even better when you can see us.
I don't like that though. Or sound like that. Yeah, you're better off watching me.
Yeah.
So Tym, we're going to start the show off.
Okay.
March 31st is Transgender Day of Visibility.
Yes, it is.
And in New York City, as well as Jersey City, where I'll be performing as well. But in New York City, Project Transcend launches.
Yes.
And you are the co-director.
Well, yes.
And it's going to be at the LGBT Center, the community center in New York on 208 West 13th Street.
Absolutely.
Give us a little bit about the project before we bring in our wonderful artists.
Okay. We had assembled 6 incredible artists, and got them all together for Project Transcend, and they participated in a 12-week process, which is called body mapping. And long and short of it is each artist at some point would lay down on a full-size canvas or paper, and their body would be traced. And then they would create their story within the confines of their body's frame. And these artists just blew us away. They're all just remarkable on their own. And each one's interpretation was completely different. It was just, it was amazing to witness, to be there and watch all of them create. So you want to meet the guests?
Yeah. Why don't we bring, and we have 3 of the 6 artists here.
3 of the 6 artists here.
Okay,
first up, we have Luca Beau. There he is. So,
Hi there.
Yeah, if you want to say hello and give your pronouns.
Hello, my name is Luca Beau. My pronouns are he and they. I identify as a non-binary trans man.
All
nice
right.
to meet you, Luca.
Nice to meet you.
And we also have the fabulous Ameirah Neal.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ameirah Neal. I identify as a Black trans woman. My pronouns are she, hers, and hers. Goddess on occasion.
All right.
Nice to meet
And
you.
we also have the fabulous Arkanoii Dante Guzman. Hey.
Hello, my name is Arkanoii Dante Guzman, and my pronouns are they, them. I am a trans, non-binary individual of many other realms.
Yay, welcome.
Welcome to Loose Lips. So Tym gave us a little tidbit about the project, but first, before we hear about your creations and what you're contributing, I would love to hear about each of you. So Luca, you want to start? You're at the top right next to Tym. If we want to start off.
Sure. I am primarily a pyrography artist, which means wood burning. I tend to also use a lot of acrylics in my work, a lot of pigments. I also am a person with a creative writing degree. I went to school for specifically poetry, and that is also something that deeply informs my work. A lot of my work revolves around the relationship between like the mind and the body. I'm originally from North Carolina, and grew up around a lot of those like evangelical kind of spaces, so that does inform my work as well. And I also just grew up knowing like the queer communities of the South and like being a part of that, and those are all just big important pieces of me.
Yeah. So two questions. So one is, what kind of wood? Is there a specific wood that you use, or a favorite?
Sure. So I tend to go for specifically like harder woods. That is to say, woods that tend to be more dry, that come from trees with less sap. Okay. Because that can actually like affect the burning process. Like you can actually bring sap up from the middle of a piece of wood if you like apply heat to it. So like you can draw it out. Or you can burn deep enough to hit a spot that has sap. That can affect your work. So I tend to go for like more dry, more like closer grains than further away kind of wood. So no like oh gosh, I can't even think of one off the top of my head, but like
maple I would guess would probably be a wet sappy. or sappy. Yeah. Right?
I think.
Oh, did he freeze?
Oh no, did we lose Luca?
Yep, there he goes.
Okay. So we were saying like maple might be we got you back.
Yep.
But like maple might be like a sappy, a wetter one, right?
Yeah, maybe maple would not be a good one to burn on.
But like oak might.
Oak is great. Walnut, I think, is one that a lot of people use. Something like that. That's kind of more so what you would go for.
And then second question, what part of North Carolina?
Greensboro, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Tym, right?
What's that?
I said we were out in Asheville.
Asheville, yeah, we were in
Asheville, yeah.
Asheville's
about 2 or 3 hours from where I'm from. Beautiful place.
Yeah, I love Asheville.
It was nice, very diverse too.
Yeah, and a film that I starred in, we shot in just outside of Durham. So I've been in a couple different parts.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Durham.
Yeah, Durham's very cool.
So, Ameirah, tell us about you.
Love Durham.
Well, hi everybody. Again, my name is Ameirah Neal. It's such a pleasure to be here this evening. I am a Black trans woman originally from Washington, D.C., or you can say the DMV area, which is also known as D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. I grew up with, my mom, a single mother. I've been drawing ever since I can remember. My first love was fashion design. So I went to college and I have my associate's degree is specialized business. The major was fashion marketing, and I have my bachelor's degree is in fine arts. My major was fashion design. So with my work, my mediums is acrylic on canvas. I've been dabbing into other mediums as of late, playing around with different things. I have some new ideas, new concepts.
Mhm.
What influences my work, it's basically there was always like a lack of like representation of like queerness, transness in the arts when I was coming up. I didn't really see a lot of representation. I didn't really see a lot of representations for all marginalized groups, right?
Mhm.
Not just queer and trans people, Black people. I didn't see a lot of, brown people. I didn't see a lot of handicapped, disabled. I didn't see different representation of what the world truly looks like. So my artwork is me claiming my space as a trans person, claiming my space as a queer person, claiming my space, because oftentimes, as queer and trans and non-binary people, we've been taught not to love our bodies, not to love who we are, to feel ashamed, to live in shame. And my artwork is like a screw you to society if you say, like, we're here and we're queer and we're proud and we're not going anywhere.
Mhm.
Do you remember your very first piece that you created?
I do actually. So this is going to be a little sad. I drew this photo. This was around the time 9/11 had happened. And this was like when my mother, I think I was in like the 7th grade, and this was like when my mother really started to pay attention to the fact that I was going to be an artist or at least draw. I drew the Statue of Liberty, but she was crying and the two twin towers were off in a distance, and she like kind of framed it and posted it up on the wall. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I don't have it anymore, but I remember that memory. Yeah.
That was my next question. Oh, I would love to have seen that.
I don't have it anymore. Yeah. It was so long ago. Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how we had our cell phones, but we weren't into the picture tape.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, that is great. Arkanoii, how about you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hiya. Thank you for having me and all of us. So I'm a 25-year-old disabled, trans non-binary, first-generation Dominican American artist, and I dabble in a lot of different art forms. Creation is just my favorite thing to do. Creating things out of anything, whether it's cardboard, whether it's painting, whether it's origami, kirigami. I just love creating things. But my favorite art form, and the one I used for this project, was painting, and I did acrylic gouache on canvas. But I usually work on watercolor paper or I work on birchwood.
Very nice. So I found out from everybody where they're from. Are you from Manhattan or Brooklyn as well?
Oh, I was born and raised in Queens, Ridgewood, Queens, although I was also raised at times in the Dominican Republic.
Oh, okay. We were just talking about going somewhere nice to get out of this country a little bit.
That's true. So, but now you live down like near in like the Atlantic City area, like.
Now I live close to the Jersey Shore. I live in Manteloking, New Jersey, with my partner, and yeah.
I live in New Jersey. I know. Oh my God! How did we not see each other? That is so wild. So you mentioned body mapping, Tym, in the beginning before we brought our guests in. How is it unique to all of you? Like, Luca, do you want to start? Or
Sure. I mean, I think that putting body mapping in this context is particularly fascinating, especially when you think about the dialogues that are had about trans people often center our bodies over everything else about us. So I think that a lot of trans people, and I think everyone in general, probably has a very complex relationship with their body. And for me, doing it brought up a lot of feelings of accepting and like reconciling with like the form that I have and like the form that I take, and seeing what I can make out of it. At least for me, it felt like kind of an extension of the whole process of like transitioning anyway, where it's just like, no, like I've been dealt these cards, but I'm gonna make something different out of them actually.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Ameirah?
This question came up again actually yesterday. We did another interview yesterday, and this question came up, and I feel, for me, I think body mapping, it looks different for everyone, right? In this context, I feel like what I got from this, in the term of body mapping, is finding empowerment within our bodies. As I said earlier, as queer and gender non-conforming and trans individuals, we've been taught to hate our bodies. We've been taught to not love ourselves. We've been taught they want us to live in the shadows, especially now, especially in this administration. In doing, for me, body mapping is finding the love, the resilience within self, and creating from that. Like, yes, we all laid down, we traced our bodies, but everyone's piece looks different. No one's piece is the same of what we traced. Everyone's piece looks different. So for me, I feel like we found a power in our bodies. We were able to pull something from that and create this beautiful piece of artwork. I'm truly excited for everyone to see the work, because everyone's pieces, no one's piece is the same. They're all different, and they all came from the body, pulling power from the body.
That's great. And Arkanoii?
Just real quick on Ameirah, but you did like 3 panels.
Yeah, I have 3 panels. Yeah.
And each one is different.
Well, it's 3 different panels coming together to tell a larger story.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good. I could never body map because there's not enough chalk to outline my body. I've been eating like crazy lately. But Arkanoii, what's your take?
Can you repeat the question again?
I just want to know how body mapping was unique to everybody here.
Oh, for me, body mapping, it brought to the forefront the relationship that I have with my body and what I see when I look in the mirror, which is, I often see beyond what my body actually looks like, because I'm analyzing everything in terms of composition and color.
Okay.
But then it also brings in the history of my body and the history of my relationship with my queerness and my transness and my cultural background, and it kind of brings everything, and I see my environment and myself as well as myself, and they kind of meld together into like glorious soup.
Love that.
Yeah.
Now, how many pieces do you each have in the in Project Transcend?
Sure. We each have 1 piece.
1 piece. Okay. Nice.
Although I did create 2 smaller other pieces that were made out of condoms, but I decided to not show those pieces. I know. I'll show them. I'm sure that Project Transcend is going to go on and do other things.
Absolutely.
I will probably include them later to change it up a little bit, but this go around I didn't include them.
That's so unique. I would love to hear more about that, but I'll wait until the next one comes out for sure. Oh my God, that's amazing. I love that. I love being creative. Like for me, I used to have a nice little space where I would go into a room and create and have peace and quiet. And that's when I find I'm most creative. Now with the group of 6, did you find you were able to still be creative? Do you like working alone, or do you like working in a group?
I think
I would say.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ameirah.
Oh no, Luca. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Luca.
Okay.
No, you're totally okay. I would say that I feel like a lot of us as artists tend towards isolation a little bit. Like it's sometimes a very solitary process, and this was an incredible opportunity to have our art in dialogue with one another and work alongside people and sometimes work with people. I think that's kind of a really cool thing about working in the space all together.
Good, Ameirah.
I want to agree with Luca. I think being an artist and like working alone comes in tandem, right? It's something that it just happens. Oftentimes for a lot of artists, we work best alone, but in this particular setting, what I noticed, it was just like an overflow of creative juices that were flowing because there were so many creatives in the space at once. And there was just like an overflow of like creative juices, creativeness, ideas, people throwing out different materials. You know, this is one of the things that I really enjoyed the most. No one was like telling anyone what they should do with their work. Everyone was just like, you know, this material will work best with what you're doing. It was more of like everyone was encouraging everyone and just speaking positivity into everyone so everyone could get the best piece, the best, you know, finished product that they wanted to get for their piece. So it was very encouraging to work in a group of 6. It really was. It was encouraging. It was motivation. It was like a lot of motivation. Yeah.
I'm sure it gave you something on your way home too. So when you came back the next time, you're probably inspired a little bit from each of the artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ameirah, you would also would stop and go around.
Yeah. I would stop what I was doing and I would walk around and look at each artist and see what they were doing. And that inspired me a lot. Like that inspired me a lot to just see what my fellow artists was creating and just to see what everyone was coming up with. Like it floored me every time. And then to see the process of like it coming along and being completed. And it's like, oh my gosh, it looks amazing.
So Arkanoii, what was it like for you working with all the other in the same room or in the same space with everyone?
Honestly, it felt like home in the best way possible. My family, so now a little bit of lore. My dad has 21 brothers and sisters, and my mom has like 4, and they each have kids. So there's always people in the house, like constantly. So I'm used to creating around people, and it feeds my energy and my motivation, and just makes me so happy. But recently I haven't been able to do that because I don't live with my family. And being able to be in an environment with other artists was mind-blowingly awesome. Oh my God. I was like, the motivation was coursing through my veins, which I definitely needed because I'm not used to working on such a large format like piece.
Yeah.
But every time I see everyone else's work, I was like motivated to work even harder. And I felt like in a way, we each contributed to each other's pieces just by being near each other. So
yeah. So beautiful. Yeah, I love that. So something outside of the project, I just like to, I like to pick the brains of the artists, and I'd like to know, how do you know when a piece that you're working on is actually finished? Ameirah,
I think for me, it's just that feeling of when to know to walk away, right? Because you could make or break an amazing piece by doing too much to it. For me, what I noticed about like a lot of the artists, a lot of us, we had like mock-ups. Like a lot of us had sketch pads, so we knew what we were going to do and how we were going to do it. So when it got to that final like completion stage, I think a lot of us knew it's time to walk away before, or as myself, I had to add finishing touches to mine, but I knew that it was just finishing touches. Like it's not, I don't have to do a whole bunch of work. It's just finishing just 1, 2, or 3 things, and then I'm out of there. Because if not, I'll start to get in my head. Then I'm doing too much to the piece. The piece is becoming confusing instead of how I want it to become. So I try not to overthink it, and a lot of the times having like a mock-up of what you're going to do, or like a little sketch pad or an idea of what you're doing and how you want to articulate it or go at it, that helps too.
Yeah, absolutely. Arkanoii?
For me, I know it's done because of 2 reasons. When I fall into my own piece by looking at it, I know I'm done.
Wow.
And the second one is when there is not a single area of the canvas that isn't covered.
Hmm.
So I don't want any of the background color showing through. I feel like that would be another stage of my art. But at the moment, it's just covering everything.
Mhm.
And so when those two will coincide, I know I am done. So,
You're good. Yeah,
Mhm.
complete. And Luca?
I would say, like, yeah, it is knowing when to walk away. You do have to, like, trust your gut, like,
Mhm.
so much as an artist. I notice myself doing this thing every time with a piece whenever I'm finished, is I finally will take a step back. And usually I'll take a step back, I'll look at the whole thing, and then I'll go, okay, this is what needs to happen from here on out. This is the next thing I need to do. And sometimes I don't know that till I take that step back and then I come back into it. It's kind of like breathing, you know? But then,
Mhm.
like, at the end of it, I'll take the step back. I'll like take the inhale, I'll take it all in, and then I'll just exhale. And then it's just done. And like when I take that step back and I just, okay. And that's it. That's all. That's what the feeling is for me, is just that final exhale. I've been breathing in this piece, this idea, and then you just let it go.
Well, I was gonna say with the wood burning too, and you're inhaling, you're probably like, yeah, this is perfect.
So what let's get a little dark here. So what are maybe some of the struggles that you have encountered in your careers, just in any way, shape, or form, that have brought you to where you are today?
Come
Yes.
on, Ameirah, go ahead.
So before Project Transcend, like there was nothing going on for me. Like I was doing markets, like LGBTQ markets here and there, but there was really nothing happening. And then Project Transcend happened, fell into my lap, which I'm grateful for, right? Because as much as we're here to talk about the art, we're here to talk about the process, yes. But I think for me, walking away, I have met 5 other talented, amazing, queer, non-binary artists who we shared something with. Like we shared a process of doing something great together. And this is going to be a memory that I have for my life. So I said it yesterday. It's bigger. Like when I went into this, I knew that it was going to be bigger than myself.
Yeah, 100%. Now the market where you have your art shown, where in Brooklyn is it?
So there, it's called Trans Art Bazaar. And they have them. I think, Luca, are you familiar with Trans Art Bazaars?
Yeah, I've actually been in a few of
Yeah.
them.
So
I mean,
it's a great
there's one this
organization.
Saturday.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
great
nice.
organization, and they have markets, and the vendors, all of the vendors are trans, queer, non-binary. It's a great market, but oftentimes there's not a lot of like representation of brownness and blackness in those spaces.
Mm.
So being in Project Transcend and seeing other brown and other black and queer faces, it really made me feel like welcome. It really made me feel seen. It really made me feel, like, wow, like I have space where I can create and be authentic, and I can create and be unapologetic.
Oh, that's
So
amazing. Oh yeah, I would like to know. I would like to come out and visit sometime for sure.
yeah.
That would be wonderful.
So Arkanoii and Luca, like maybe some struggles that you've had in your past that have helped to form your art or form where you are today.
well,
Sure, I'll go next. Oh, sorry.
no, go.
Arkanoii, you go first.
Okay. So some struggles. So although I love being around people, it is also a struggle being around people because I am disabled and also my family isn't always understanding of a lot of things.
Mm.
So sometimes, like when I would spend the way I do artwork with my squares, it takes a very long time. And we wouldn't have that much room, so I'm just working on the dining room table, and I'd be there for like 8 hours straight. But that means no one else can use the dining room table, which was a desk, for 8 hours straight, which caused some conflicts. And there were other problems too. One of them being materials. My family, we didn't have that much money growing up, especially for things that were like fun and art. So I just didn't have the materials, which is where the using all materials comes from. Because I'm like, oh, I have this and this, this and this. I got like 4 pieces of hot glue. No hot glue gun. I can use fire. Don't do it. It's dangerous. I learned that the hard way. But yeah, and then also my transness, which is like partially accepted, partially not accepted by my family, but it's in every piece of my artwork because it's reflected in that. But also, so a large portion of the art I do is digital artwork, where I draw people, specifically people of color who are queer and trans, and my family didn't resonate with them at first. Because they were like, no one you know looks like this. And I was like, yes, they do. And then they're like, why does this person look like both a boy and a girl, or neither? And I'm like, oh. It led to a lot of conflict in my family. But ultimately, I was able to get past those in Project Transcend, one of those spaces where I'm with people, with my people. And I don't have to explain who I am, or why I'm drawing, or how I'm drawing, or I feel the want to, and it's nice, but I don't feel like every interaction will cause chaos, which is such a breath of fresh air.
Right. Totally.
Yeah.
And Luca?
Yeah, I would say I've encountered very much a lot of the same barriers of entry that most other trans people have encountered. But I would say that like a big one has often been time and finances. Just having so much going on, having like the constraint on finding materials, on finding places that will like show your art and like will actually bring audiences in that want to buy your art, and spaces that will validate your art. I've very much I've done the markets, I've done those kind of spaces, I've found community in those spaces. But I've also found that like unless it's like a queer or trans specific artist, a lot of times if your work is visibly queer, if you are visibly queer, if you are visibly trans, your work is proudly trans or anything like that, you get kind of ignored by the visitors. Like they don't really market that up. You do, yeah. You'll just get like sidestepped.
They'll just walk right past you. They'll tell you how talented you are and walk right past you. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. I'm sorry, Luca. I'm sorry.
No, you're so right though. Like it's dismissive. And like you can say you're talented, at least take my business card and follow me on Instagram.
Yeah.
At least give me the follow.
Yeah.
At least do that. That's free. You don't even have to have money in your pocket to do that. And I know you're on Instagram. Like, come on. Like, maybe you're not, and that's probably healthier for you. But like, most of us are.
Yeah.
Another thing, can I add to that?
Sure.
Actually,
yeah.
So when I also have experience vending at these markets, and I want to echo what both Ameirah and Luca said, but also add that a lot of times in these markets, if you are not in a specifically trans market and you like write that you are trans in your bio, a lot of people will take that now they can tell you their whole life story about how they used to think trans people were terrible, and now that's great, and you're just sitting there like, oh God. And it creates a very weird atmosphere, and then also a lot of other artists will be like, oh, and will think that because you are openly like saying, "Oh, I'm trans," or have artwork that says you're trans or depicts it in any way, they'll just be like, "Oh, I don't want to, this is too controversial, I'm not going to follow you." And sometimes they don't say the small part, like that you're too controversial for them, but it's clear when other makers don't follow you because they think it might cause them to lose follows.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's very obvious.
Yeah.
There's one thing which I'm sure you've witnessed or noticed here is this group of artists in a very short period of time all became very respectful of each other, very supportive of each other, very caring for each other. Yeah. And as you can see, like one will say, "Oh no, go ahead. You know, I love this group of artists. You have no idea how.
I have to be honest, the positivity and the support for each other it's overwhelming. For me, it's emotional because you don't see that. You do not see that. Nobody is ever supporting anyone, and it's really it's depressing at times. But I love this but all of you just getting together and admiring each other's work and inspiring each other is beautiful.
Absolutely.
I'm honestly, I'm just proud of us. Like like Ike, there were bumps. I'm not gonna lie, there were some bumps in the road, but we got over it. We persevered, we pushed through, and we created some amazing artwork. And 12 weeks. Let's talk about that. 12 weeks is a dedication. 12 weeks, that's not just an easy commitment. That's a dedication. And all of us was there. Luca, I think I missed one session. Luca, I don't think Luca missed any sessions. And me and Luca, we traveled from Brooklyn. So to get all the way there, and it wasn't, some days the train wouldn't run properly.
I remember that one day we had we had to transfer 3 times.
Yeah, there was a point we had to transfer 3 times.
I want you to know we are on one end of one of the lines.
Yeah,
Transcend
is on the other end of
our studio.
It was in Riverdale in the Bronx.
It's one train. It just wasn't running.
Oh,
yeah.
But
so we had to take one and
then take another one. Yeah,
but they got there.
That goes to our dedication. That goes to the dedication. And it's just like when Tym says that he has a love for us, I have a love for us too, because we did the damn thing.
We did.
So many people just give up. Like some people just went back on and went home, right? But when you want to do something and be around people and be inspired by them, you show up.
Yeah.
So I have a quick question.
Well, just one second.
Arkanoii.
Something. Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to just add to what you were saying and just say that part of the reason I feel like where you see like this camaraderie and care that we have for each other is I feel like we understand that we do not rise alone. If we do not rise with our community, we are not rising at all.
Yeah.
And so we keep each other accountable. We keep each other doing it. We're like one time I missed the Zoom call and they were like, "Hey, you missed the Zoom call. Where are you?" And I was like, "Oh God." But we keep each other accountable and we keep each other in the game, motivated, inspired, and and we care, which I love about this.
Caring is the most important.
We care,
and most important.
Absolutely.
So resources were brought up a lot, and I think with any artist, we always wonder where our resources are going to come from so we can create our art. How did the resources come through here? Like, I know there was a lot of different, factors in here. Were the resources available, or were they hard as far as everything you needed to create your art?
Oh, wow.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
We had Tym and Cheryl. We had Tym and Cheryl. They supplied all the materials for all the artists. Yeah, all of us.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. I
So
think
every
some of us, I think some of us may have had our own things here and there, but for
right.
the most part, materials were provided. Well, for me, materials were provided. So
Oh, that's amazing.
I think
Yeah.
that is the case for all of us, is that
yeah, I
most of our
think
materials
so.
were
Yeah, I just
provided,
didn't want to
unless like we
speak too
brought like
fast.
one specific item or like a very specific thing like that we already had. I don't think any of us had to dive into our own savings or anything like that.
I don't
Arkanoii,
think
would
so
you agree?
either.
That's fabulous.
I brought my own paint because I already had paint and I use a very specific
Yeah.
paint, but
Right.
I didn't have to worry about the canvas. I didn't have to worry about anything. And also, whenever one of us needed like a supply and that was harder to get, we would share it or give it to each other.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was times where I didn't have, I think it was red paint or white paint. In Arkanoii, was it brown paint? I can't remember what color it was. It was one of those
Oh,
colors.
it was brown paint.
It
Brown
was
paint and I
brown
think
paint.
white paint.
And Arkanoii was just like, oh, I have some here. So
Yeah, there was one point I realized that at the very end that I needed to cover up one little thing with something blue, and Arkanoii just like reached over and was like, here you go. And just like without a hesitation, it was so sweet.
That's what it's about, right?
Yeah.
So for me, when I'm creating, I like to listen to music. It could be anything that's like R&B, it could be gospel, it could be country, whatever it may be. Do you need total silence when you're creating your art, or do you like to listen to music? Do you just like to maybe have the window open and listen to the noise outside?
it depends. So for me, it depends. It depends on what mood I'm in that day. Like if I'm stressed out and I just need to kind of like engulf myself in my work, I don't want to hear anything, just my thoughts. But if I'm like in the mood and I'm grooving, then I'll put some tunes on and just jam out.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's like that for anyone else.
Yeah, I'm curious to know.
Like that.
I would say I've been trying to challenge myself to sit in silence a little bit more and create, because it's hard for me. But like,
Yeah.
I'm very much a headphones on kind of guy.
Mhm.
When I'm creating, it could be literally any kind of music playing. At Transcend, I didn't do that often. Sometimes we would have like jazz playing, which was very, very lovely, honestly. And sometimes we would just like be sitting in silence or just be talking to one another. And I thought that was such a cool thing. Yeah, I'm usually listening to like metal or like hardcore music, or I'm listening to like or either I'm doing that or I'm listening to the entire soundtrack of both Mamma Mia movies. There is very little space in between. It goes from like emo and hardcore to like show tunes.
I love it.
Right?
Yes.
How about Arkanoii?
For me, I am a person of the music and the sound. I would like, so there were instances where it'd be quiet, and I grew up around people, grew up around constant noise, but also dancing, and so I like to listen to a lot of bachata, salsa, merengue, but also like I have like a system to this where it's like I have to get myself into the zone, because making like 1,000 little squares takes the zone in order to do. And so I'd listen to like some like trancey like dubstep or something, and then I just transitioned into land dancing music, and I would sometimes dance a little as I'm making the piece, and I was like, no, must steady my hand, steady hand.
I did notice you a few times, like while we were all like doing stuff, you would just be like leaned over the table, just like dancing a little bit.
Yeah,
I was like,
had the earbuds in. Yeah.
I'm such a similar way where I have to have like the specific art making music. Like that's why I'm like, no, there's like 2 zones for me for art making music. All the other genres are for me. Like that's different time, but art making music is art making music.
Great. So each
Go ahead, Arkanoii.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I just wanted to add, so when I listen to music, it's especially a little bit chaotic sometimes, because I only have one playlist called Like.
Hmm.
And it has like over 3,000 songs in no specific order.
Oh.
And so like you might be listening to Land Dance music and the next song is Power Rangers theme song from season like 2. That's why I'm very careful with who I show my playlist to.
It's good to
But
be
now,
eclectic, styles of music.
but now, Arkanoii, can you just touch on the style that you did with the blocks and how you arrived at the blocks?
Oh, so I started my art journey by sketching people on the subway and on the bus. And with my very first comic called Nugget Goes to Space, which was didn't make any sense, but it was fun. And then I started drawing people, and from drawing people, I transitioned to digital, and from digital artwork, I transitioned to more fantastical, and then I tried hyperrealism in painting and sketching, and then I realized that I'm focusing too much on what it actually looks like. I'm not enjoying any of it. And it was causing me so much stress to draw realistically that I found myself at one point unable to make anything because of the stress I would feel to have it be perfect. I would see every single little mistake in my piece. And so I was like, how do I draw the piece without drawing the piece? And so I was like, what if I do I love Minecraft, so why not make it blocks? And oh my God, cured my anxiety and also kind of made it look like optical illusion artwork, which I was living for. So that's how I arrived to my style that you see in my piece.
Oh.
Yeah. So because if you look up close, it's just little blocks, but you step away from it, and it all it's fascinating. I just thought that was fascinating.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see all of your work.
They're all
so
bravo.
But every Loose Lips, we like to play a game, right?
Yes.
This game is called Rapid Fire Loose Lips Lightning Round. So what I'm going to do, and Tym is going to do as well, we're going to ask you a question, and each of you are going to answer it. Some may have a little bit more time to think about it, but we want to see how quick you can answer. So Tym, I'll start off.
Okay.
Luca, Ameirah, and then we'll go to Arkanoii. Okay, so we'll start off. Luca, if you could spend a day in the studio with any artist from history, who would it be?
Keith Haring.
Oh, that would be quick.
Keith Haring. I don't know if I can show you this, but literally tattooed.
Oh, sweet. And if you could ask one question, what would it be?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. How did you get here? How did you get to this style? What was that journey?
Yeah.
Very
cool.
There's an artist. Her name was Faith Ringgold. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her. She was a quiltist, so she did quilts, but she painted on top of the quilts. So when you get a chance, Google her. Her name is Faith Ringgold.
Could you spell her name offhand, or?
I'm sorry.
Spell her last name.
Ringgold, RING gold, Ringgold, Faith Ringgold. Yes. Okay. And she would do these beautiful, beautiful quilts. And this one piece that I have in mind it was a quilt, and it's they're on the plantation, but it's the famous Black women throughout history, and they're all sitting at a table, and she painted them, and she painted herself with them. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. She was an amazing artist. Amazing artist.
Awesome. And what would you ask a question to them?
I would just ask her about just staying true to her style, just staying true to your art form, staying true to who you are as an artist. How do you do that?
Mm-hmm. That's great. Arkanoii?
Isaac, I'm not sure if I'm saying the last name correct. Zager. They are the artist of the Philly's Magic Garden, which is basically this area that's just covered in mosaic, everywhere. And my goal in my art is to immerse myself and to immerse the people who see it in the same way that when I set foot in there, I was like, holy, I could look anywhere. And it was just majestic, beautiful art. I felt like I was in a completely different universe.
Wow.
And if I could ask Isaac any question, I wouldn't ask per se. I would just want to watch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah.
Mhm. Okay, this time we'll go Ameirah, Arkanoii, and then Luca.
Okay.
So what is the one thing that you want a viewer to feel when they stand in front of your work for the first time?
I want them to feel empowered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nice. Arkanoii?
Oh, I want them to feel like they're in a different universe, immersed.
Nice, nice. And Luca?
Hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yep. Very good. We got one more question. We'll do Arkanoii, Luca, and Ameirah. This will be, what is your biggest mistake you've made in painting that actually ended up becoming a breakthrough?
Ah.
Oh, I would say it was actually in Project Transcend. So this is the biggest piece I ever made, ever. Like, I have not made a piece that huge. The biggest piece I had made before Project Transcend was 16 by 16 inches. To suddenly move up to several feet. And at first, I started tracing myself out on the canvas, and I started painting, and then as I was painting, I was like, this doesn't feel like me at all. It feels like I'm just doing what I was told to do, and I don't want to do what I was told to do. I want to do something different. That's not how I see myself. When I look in the mirror, I don't just see just me. I see like an explosion of color and composition just expanding outwards forever. So I forgot the question.
No, that was it. That was it.
Oh, yay.
Luca, you're up.
Sure. In 2020, I was experimenting with my painting. This was before I got into wood burning at all. I made an impulse purchase because I worked at a Joann's on a $30 like wood burning machine right before the pandemic happened, and then everything started closing down. I was jobless. I was just like living with my mom, and I was like, okay, and I was painting on like these pieces of wood that I had because when you work at a craft store, you just grab everything that is on sale.
Yes.
And stack those employee discounts on those sales and on those coupons, and and so I had these pieces of wood that I didn't know what I was going to do with them. I tried painting on them. I didn't really like it. I liked it somewhat, and then I was like, I'm going to try this really wacky, kind of sucky little machine that I bought, and that I wasted $30 on in the middle of a pandemic. And I just fell in love with it immediately.
Wow, that's great.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Ameirah.
Oh, wow. So I have this technique that I do in my paintings. It's like my signature. It's like a galaxy, spacey type of look that I do in my background. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out how to make it look realistic. So I had to like just do like a lot of trial and error, and I had to like find out different techniques. Use my fingers and a paintbrush, use my fingers, paintbrush, and splatter with something else. So it was kind of like that the cat and mouse game on like figuring out what was gonna work and what wasn't gonna work. So yeah, that would be it for me.
Okay.
Love this.
I appreciate you all for coming onto Loose Lips. I am so excited to see your work. I can't wait to meet you all in person. I'm so Tim, tell us a little bit more about the date and the time. And
Sure. It's Project Transcend in cooperation with Trans Day of Visibility. at the New York City LGBT Center, which is at 208 West 13th Street. It's off of 7th Avenue, between 7th and 8th Avenues. The works of these 6 incredible artists will be exhibited there through May, till May 31st of this year of 2026. And we are having an opening reception and an opening ceremony on Tuesday, May 31st from 6 to 9 p.m. And all of the artists will be there. They will be there to show you their works as well as answer any questions that you want. So come by, meet everyone, and just have a wonderful time. There's going to be food. There's going to be chicken wings. There's going to be food there. So
just what I need, more food, right? So I just want to end on by saying that, you know, our country is going backwards at a rapid speed. It's not safe. And I want to say I admire each of you for your strength, creating art and inspiring those who just feel lost and just inspiring hope to people. So I appreciate you all very, very much.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
And I'm just, again, so proud of each one of you, every one of you.
And Tym, thank you for bringing this to life as well.
Oh, sure. Sure.
I appreciate it. And this is the part where we wave goodbye.
Oh, love you all.
Oh.